Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It's time to do the first look with my friend and millionaire maker winner, Alisha Hunt. Alisha, last week, I kid you not, I was one Sam Laporta to a TJ Hawkinson from taking down 3 different GPPs. I was like 23 points out of first, and that would have done it. It was so hard to be on everything. I hit everything except that one play.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I didn't expect Hawkinson to do that, but he did.
When Ed Werder comes out and says, oh, he's not going to play a full complement of snaps, you're like, okay, I saw his ribs. I knew he was injured. But I mean, it was just, you can't overthink that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep, I hear you.
I'm upset. What can I tell you? I mean, it only cost me, I don't know, 50,000, whatever, nothing. All right, let's get right to it here. Dallas against Carolina. This is a 42. Dallas is favored by 10.5. Last week, Dak made people rich. Dak to Cooks, Dak to CD, Dak to Ferguson. But what if I told you this week and I said, hey, is Tony Pollard in play?
I'm having problems with Pollard because he just isn't giving us what he should. I just don't know if I can get behind him.
I think I'm going to go back there. I have this. I told you my theory. When a guy kills you the week before, you go back because nobody's going to be on him. He was so chalky last week. Nobody wants any part of him this week. And everybody's going to want Dak and Lamb and the passing game. But Carolina's got a crap run defense.
Yep. Yeah, I don't. Dak should be able to do good against them, but I don't know if it's going to be as spectacular as last week.
Right. Well, last week was pretty darn spectacular. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Pittsburgh against Cleveland, 33 points. Cleveland, as we learned today, does not have Deshaun Watson for the rest of the year. $230 million spent not so well. I would have told you that I like Jerome Ford. I would have told you I like Cooper at home, but now they're not even playing PJ Walker. They're playing Dorian Robinson-Thompson.
Oh, God.
I know. Do we love the Steelers' defense? Do we love any other plays in this?
I actually do still like Ford. I think he can do well, and he's only 5,200. I would be okay with him. I mean, in week 2, he went for 131 yards and a touchdown against them. So I have some interest in him. I don't really have any other interest on Cleveland except for their defense. Pittsburgh, maybe their defense. I mean, don't really see much I like there either.
Pittsburgh is let's see. I'm on FanDuel. Let me get out of FanDuel. DraftKings, Pittsburgh's defense is 3,500. And Cleveland is 3,700.
Yeah, I would prefer Cleveland at 200 more.
Yeah, I mean, look, Thompson Robinson stinks, but I'm not sure what I would do there. I don't know. I like Pittsburgh, but I agree with you. Cleveland is just, their defense is phenomenal.
Yeah, they're awesome.
All right, so we don't really like that game. What about Chicago-Detroit? Your Chicago Bears with Mr. Justin Fields back. What are your thoughts?
I'm definitely going to be more on Detroit here. I wasn't really a big fan of Fields this season overall, and I don't see him coming back and throwing up fireworks everywhere. I just don't see it. So, I'll definitely want some exposure to St. Brown. And I don't hate Montgomery as a revenge game here either.
Right, a little revenge narrative. What about Cole Kmet? We know Detroit's not great against tight ends. Can Fields find Kmet? Because when Kmet catches the ball, it's usually a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Komet. I actually have him on my fantasy league, and he's done pretty well for me this season. So yeah, I can get behind him.
Okay, now let's talk about, you mentioned St. Brown, you mentioned Montgomery. What about Jahmyr Gibbs? Dude scored 2 touchdowns last week. What I love about the Lions, Alisha, if you watch them, as opposed to Pittsburgh and Jacksonville that are not inventive, they're running different plays. Every play is something interesting for the Lions. Can Gibbs and Montgomery and St. Brown and Goff all habitate together and make fantasy points?
Yeah, definitely. I don't see why. Yeah, definitely, especially in this game.
Can I do a double, triple stack? Can I go like Goff, Montgomery, St. Brown, or is that a little aggressive?
No, I don't think so. Chicago's going to play one of two ways, either really good or really crappy, and I would say the latter is probably going to be.
All right, so you're going with the crappy. I hear you. Okay. Let's talk about Arizona and Houston. Game's a 49 spot. It's a big one. Playing in the Dome. Right, and JS, by the way, says Seems Gibbs broke out of the Swift role, which is true, right? He got out of Dan Campbell's, this is who you are. Now you could be more. So good call there, JS. Let's go. Arizona now goes to the Dome. The Texans are going to be very popular, very popular. But Arizona plays zone defense, and CJ Stroud just fillets zone defense. I mean, do we like Singletary? Do we like Rondale Moore? Do we like Marquise Brown? Do we like Connor? Do we like Noah Brown? I mean, what's your thoughts here?
Stroud, I think any 3 of the pass catchers are in line. You could even stack 2 of them if you wanted to. Not really sure who my favorites are yet. I think Noah Brown is really coming on. And Singletary, yeah, absolutely. Arizona gives up an average of 27 fantasy points to opposing running backs. I think Singletary's going to have a good game, and he's cheap.
He has been cheap. Now, that was the guy I went to last week, Alisha. He was my, hey, you screwed me 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to play you.
Yeah.
Right? And I mentioned it on Discord. That's why I kind of like the Pollard move here. What about going back to the well with Tank Dell and with Brown and with Schultz? Are you good doing that, or do you feel like, look, the well is only so deep. How many times can I go there?
No, yeah, I think this game you could stack the crap out of it. I mean, Kyler Murray didn't look too bad. I think they're going to be shooting it out against each other pretty good. So I love Stroud and anybody you want to stack with him.
Do you like Michael Wilson on the cheap?
Yes, but I really liked him last week, but he just didn't get what I needed from him. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't mind going back to him. I think he gets some looks here.
I do too. I think he does. I think he's going to have a decent week. All right. Las Vegas travels to Miami. 2 fun places to hang out, Las Vegas and Miami. Miami's minus 13.5. First question. Devon Chan, I assume he's back. If he's back, is he in the winning lineup?
So again, we've got the Raiders' run defense. They're allowing an average of 24 fantasy points on the ground. I think Miami has the best shot at the run game here. You might be able to stack Mozart and Achane in the same lineup and still do well, to be honest. I think throwing maybe for Miami isn't going to be. I might take Hill. I don't think Tua. I think Tua and Waddle are a little bit overpriced. But I do like Hill maybe to throw in a couple lineups. But yeah, the run game here for sure.
Well, Hill's going to be 9,300. Do you think that forces his ownership down? Can I do like a Chan and Hill and just use them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I want to stack? Do I need to stack, or you think Tua is too expensive?
No, I don't think you need to stack Tua. I think Tua is too expensive, yeah, and I think Waddle's too expensive also.
Yeah, Tua at 7,700. I mean, I like him. I don't know. I think JS is 100% right. When he says this, he says Hill, Chan, Mostert every week. I play 3 lineups, right? How do I not do a Tua, a Chan, and Hill and just say, load them up, baby? A Chan can score in any play. Hill can go. I mean, the problem is, does Tua carry both those guys? And if he does, they're gonna have to score 40, like they did against Denver that week. Can Tua support 2 touchdowns by a Chan and 2 touchdowns by Hill, or would I need a different quarterback?
Yeah, I don't think you need to use Tua here. I think just having those other guys in there is going to be sufficient enough.
Okay, I got you. All right, the Giants go to Washington. Commanders are -9.5, coming off a bad week. Do we go back to Sam Howell? Is there any Giant we can play? Do we assume that the Giants will keep this competitive?
My first response is probably going to be no. I don't see the Giants doing anything here. I really actually like Sam Howell, and I think McLaurin maybe and Samuel probably have the best matchups. And the Giants, their secondary is horrible. They're banged up. It's going to be a good matchup for them. But if Deontay Banks and Adoree Jackson are out, then it's really going to open things up for him. And I think maybe McLaurin is going to be the biggest recipient of that.
Now, do you think he's going to be one of the more highly owned receivers? Because, I mean, I think we could be looking at 15%. Do I want Terry McLaurin at 15%?
I mean, you might. He's 5,800. He's a good choice. I mean, I was trying to build a lineup, and it's not going to be really easy to fit some higher priced guys in there. It's a little bit trickier this week to build a good lineup.
Oh, I'm going to shove him in. You watch him.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this next game here. This one I think is interesting. The Chargers against Green Bay. Please don't think me insane, but I'm calling my shot on Wednesday right now. Christian Watson finally takes a deep one to the house, because the Chargers defense is not good. I told you that last week. Nobody believed me. They played the Bears and the Jets. You and I could play against the Bears and the Jets. So is Green Bay a sneaky play?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you might be right about Watson. There's definitely somebody who's going to get a touchdown, and I think Love against the Chargers is a good week.
Do you like Eckler? Because Green Bay's run defense is kind of poo-poo.
I do like Eckler. The only thing that I'm having a problem with is I'd like the Green Bay defense as well. And if Eckler's going to score a couple times, I don't know which one I prefer to go with.
Right. The Green Bay defense is going to be 2,300. So that's a nice little, that's perfect, right?
Yeah.
I see. And Replay Reel, our friend Replay says, can I play Jordan Love over Herbert in a season long? So let's ask this question. Green Bay's defense has been stingy against opposing quarterbacks. Nobody's really gone off against them. Maybe because they just play an ugly game. We both said we like Love. The Chargers defense is not great. In all good conscience, can we tell our friend Replay Reel not to play Herbert?
This week in particular, yes, I think that, yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Let me see something there. I'm going to take a look. Give me 2 seconds. In passing yards, player props right now, Jordan Love is 226.5. Herbert's about 264. See, they won't even go over 275. They know.
I don't think anybody has, have they?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it's not a bad play, but I think you're hoping with Herbert to get 264 and 2 touchdowns. So that's about 21 points, right?
Right.
That doesn't feel like I'm taking down any tournament with that.
All right. And then Keenan Allen is the only person that's going to do anything for you. And I just don't think after the game he just had, I don't think he's going to come out and replicate that again this week.
That's why I like Eckler.
Yeah.
Right. Replay asks, where's the line to bench Herbert? Well, let me ask you this, Alisha. Let's use it DFS wise, okay? Let's talk about quarterbacks. Would you play Herbert over Stroud?
No.
Would you play Herbert over Fields?
Yes.
Would you play Herbert over Goff?
No.
Would you play Herbert over Matthew Stafford?
Yes.
Would you play Herbert over Sam Howell?
No.
Would you play Herbert over Kyler?
No.
I'm playing Kyler for sure. Would you
Yeah.
play Herbert over Trevor Lawrence against the Titans?
Yes.
I would too. Would you play Herbert over Geno? Yes. Would you play Herbert over Brock Purdy?
No.
Yeah, me either. And would you play him over Jordan Love?
No.
I think I play Love. I think I play Herbert over Love. You know why? Don't play guys on bad teams. Don't play guys on bad teams. You might win more. All right. Tennessee against Jacksonville. Jacksonville has been putrid offensively. As good as the Lions look offensively is as bad as Jacksonville looks offensively. They run the same plays over and over again. Trevor Lawrence has 9 touchdowns, but I do like them this week. Is this a sneaky stack or is this dumb because I can't get a lot of, with Levis back there, I'm not going to see enough give and take?
Yeah, I think the only 2 plays I like in this game are I actually like Derrick Henry. I think he's low enough price that if he goes off and explodes, he could. I mean, they've given up big fantasy totals to Bijan, Alvin Kamara, McCaffrey did pretty well against him. Derrick Henry, once he gets going, he can really take off. So I like him a little bit. Hopkins is all right after last week's dud. And then ETN, he was supposed to be my two touchdown guy last week, and he did nothing.
He was.
Yeah.
All right, but you can't. You hit it like 2 weeks in a row. I can't fault you. Okay? All right.
Yeah.
You're still getting the fruitcake for Christmas. All right. Tampa Bay against San Francisco. Here's my issue.
Mm-hmm.
I love Brock Purdy this week. Love him. I love Debo this week. I love Kittle this week. I don't hate McCaffrey this week, but it feels like at 9,300, he better get that touchdown, which he didn't get last week, because if I don't get 27, I don't want him. Where do we draw the line for the 49ers?
Yeah, I like all the receivers. I don't like McCaffrey at his price this week, but I think they're going to light up the Buccaneers in the air.
I do too. Now, can the Bucs bring it back with Evans, with Godwin, with Rachaad White? Can they do enough to keep this game moving? Because Las Vegas doesn't think so. At 41, Las Vegas is saying, no, not happening.
I think Baker's playing at a higher level than he has before that we've seen. And I think, I think that it's going to be more competitive than they think. And the first thing I thought when I looked at what are they favored by 11.5? I'm like, that's a little high.
Did feel that way, right?
I would probably take Tampa Bay on that line.
I mean, they're saying Tampa Bay is going to score 15 points and the 49ers 26.5. I mean, that seems a little – they're not giving the Bucs enough respect.
I agree.
All right, let's take a look at Jets Buffalo. Ken Dorsey fired. Joe Brady, who was, by the way, Joe Burrow's offensive coordinator at LSU. But when Joe Brady came to the NFL, I don't know if people remember this, he went to the Panthers and he was awful. They could not get a first down. Do we think that this game is a dud, or do we like Stephon Diggs or Garrett Wilson?
I like Garrett Wilson. I do not really like anything else in this game.
No Diggs? You don't think they find a way to give Diggs a football?
Yeah, I think Diggs is going to get he's definitely going to get some catches after last week, after his dud. So you could probably go after him as well. But Josh Allen loves to throw interceptions this time of year. The Jets like to catch them and run them back for a pick six. And maybe Diggs, maybe Hall, maybe some Garrett Wilson. That's probably all I see here.
My problem is I like Diggs Alisha, but at 9,100,
Yeah, it's
I mean that's crazy.
yeah.
I mean, I can't even rationalize it. Even if he goes 7 for 100 and a touchdown, anything less than that, and even if he gets that, so let's see, what's that? 17, give me that 20, 26. I'm still not even getting 3x.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's if it gives me 7 for 100 and a touchdown. He's not putting 2 against the Jets.
No, absolutely not.
All right, last one here for Seattle against the Rams. Seattle just doesn't look right. And the Rams look a little better, but is Matthew Stafford healthy? If he is, Cooper Kupp is pretty relatively inexpensive at 8,100. Puka Nacua is 7,100. They're practically handing them to you there. What's your thoughts on this one?
I like Kupp for his price. I do not like Stafford. I think you can get Kupp and make it worth it without Stafford stacking. And I agree with you. Seattle they're just off. I don't know. You said you loved Geno last week, stacked with. Did you pick him all?
I did. That was one of my 3 teams. It wasn't the one that I was most successful with. The one I was Goff, the Lions stack. The Geno just wasn't big enough. The game didn't explode enough, right? You had the winning. You won your million, right? When Geno went crazy against the Lions. You need that crazy game, right? The crazy game is going to make you rich. Now, I think this week's crazy game, and I'm sure everybody else thinks it too, it's probably Houston, Arizona.
Yeah.
That's got the cray-cray written all over it.
Yep.
It's just about getting the right pieces in there.
I agree with you.
Because I don't see how that game becomes slow because there are 2 quarterbacks who like to throw it. Kyler's willing to run it. The only thing that hurts this game is if Kyler's running and not throwing.
Which I don't think they'll have him do because of the knee.
Right.
No.
Right. All right. You have a lineup that we can put through?
Yeah. Let's see where we're at.
This is where I do mine and you do yours, and yours is always better than mine.
Yeah. All right. I've got Purdy.
Oh, okay. Like it.
I've got Jerome Ford and Josh Jacobs.
Jerome Ford, Josh Jacobs against Miami. All right. Okay. Go ahead.
Ayuk.
Okay.
Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
St. Brown.
Okay. Tight end.
So I had to get a little fancy here because of the price. So I went with Freiermuth.
Oh, you're really getting fancy. Okay.
Yeah. McBride is my flex.
Doing the double tight end offense and the defense Green Bay, right?
Yep.
So you still have 600 on the board.
Really? It showed me that I didn't have. Oh yeah, I still do. Yeah, I think I could take Freiermuth out and put somebody else in there who at 3,100. Let's see here. Who's cheap? There's not really anybody great.
So let's see. You can get Tyler Conklin. You can get Noah Fant.
Oh, we got Parham.
Parham. Yeah, Parham. Actually, it's funny you said that. Where's Parham? How much is he?
He is.
Oh, yeah, 31. Okay.
3,100.
JS mentioned him. He said here, last week about getting it. Replay also asked, is McBride flex worthy? And of course, we answered him right away. That's right. He is flex worthy. He's great.
Yeah.
All right. So that lineup right there, Alisha, if you do Parham, is 127 points. All right. My lineup here is going to be, I feel dirty. I do. Jordan Love. I'm already nauseous. Austin Eckler. I got to get my guy who I told you scoring a touchdown this week, Watson, in there. All right. Always Watson. That's what we're doing. We're going Cole Kmet. We're going to go Montgomery, revenge narrative.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Defense. Really haven't really looked. This is literally me doing this on the fly here. I think I want to go cheap. All right. How about the Rams? Yeah, maybe the Rams. All right. I don't know. No, Rams stink. All right. You know what? Let me go the Jets because maybe something is wrong with Josh Allen. So I need two wide receivers. I think I want to go cheap ones, Alisha. I'm going to go with Tank Dell, and I got to get a Chan in there because that guy needs to play at all times. There's never a time that he shouldn't be on the field. And then I've got $5,500 for a receiver, and that gets me Gabe Davis, Calvin Ridley, Marquise Brown. Like Hollywood Brown? You like Mark, or you like Ridley?
I think I like Marquise better this week.
All right, Marquise Brown to correlate with Dell. Once again, you win. I'm at 122.
Some good picks, so I like it.
When you win.
You did better than me in reality, so how's that?
I feel just this much better. I think that, I don't know, is this too much correlation? Does it bother you? Because I have like Eckler and Watson, Dell and Brown, Komet and Montgomery. Do you find like too much correlation can hurt?
Not if you feel they're going to do respectably well. I mean, yeah, see? He likes both of our lineups.
I kind of like the lineups. I really do. Got to write this down. I don't want to forget these. By the time I tweak them up, by the 88th time, I mess them up.
And I do actually like the Jets calling the defense.
See what JS says to us? Don't swap them out on Sunday. JS, I'm going to put that lineup in a single entry somewhere. I don't know, $25, $50 single entry, and hopefully I take it down. And if I do, I will remember you and remember that you told me not to mess it up. But I think like from now until Sunday, how much are you tweaking lineups, or do you not even come up with lineups until like Saturday?
I'll do some more research. I'll do more research to write my article that comes out Saturday. And I'll do some research for the article that I do on Friday as well. But, that's when I like to do kind of like a sleeper wide receiver. I mean, I'm going to maybe do that as my article on Fridays. And that'll give me some idea where I can get some pieces in there where I can maybe spend up a little more, because I really do like Eckler a lot. I think he's going to do well. And Montgomery, I love those two running backs. I think Montgomery's going to at least pop one in there, maybe two.
I do too. I feel like, I don't know if the Komet play I like, but I like the fact that if Komet ever gets a catch, it's usually a touchdown.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when he had what's his name in there? I can't remember. Badgett. When they had him, he was one of his favorite targets, which I would have said all day long go ahead with him. But who knows with Justin coming back? So
Replay Real asks, will you give permission to bench Diggs for Devonta Adams and D-Hop? I mean Devonta Smith. I have to play Devonta Smith against the Chiefs, do we not?
I like AJ Brown better, but
in seasonal, would you play Hopkins or Diggs?
I think Hopkins. Yeah, I can get behind what he thinks he should do. Yeah.
I don't want to bench Diggs. I'm not going to bench Diggs.
No.
Not because I don't trust Will Levis enough. But I will say this. Here's one nugget for everybody out there. And Alisha, I don't know if you saw this. Jacksonville's best cornerback is a guy named Tyson Campbell. Yeah. He's questionable with a hamstring. Didn't play today. So I'm willing to, if this guy is out, he's their best guy by far. He's the one who will be on Hopkins.
Yeah. Well, Hopkins is shifty, though. He can get things done if he gets the ball thrown to him.
I know. He finds a way to get open. All right, let me ask you this before we leave. Who is your 2 TD player this week?
I'm going to go with Jerome Ford.
Really?
Yeah.
Against the Steelers.
Yeah.
The mighty Steelers who are smelling blood in a divisional game. Now they can win this bad boy.
Because I think that's all they're going to be able to do is run the ball. So. volume.
All right. So there you have it. That's the first look. We appreciate you guys. And of course, so let's tell you what's going to happen the rest of the week. You know, you're going to read Alisha's stuff on Friday. You're going to read her big article on Saturday. You're going to win some money. You're going to listen to me on Sirius XM on Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern. And then Sunday morning, you know we do the Discord. We answer every question. So you're more than welcome to join. For Dr. Roto and Alisha Hunt, be well and take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.
Woohoo!